Hello and welcome to another episode of P Practical, and in this episode I'll be talking about my bag, what goes on, what goes in. So this is a completely unscripted, unplanned episode. I just wanted to make something this week just to test it out, so we're just going to hit straight into it. So this bag that I got over here is a K&F Concept bag, and basically it's for camera gear. So if you open this up like so, you can see in here I have all the different compartment ability. You can see some stuff in there which are duplicates of what I'm going to go through, and what I really like is this water protector, so you can actually cover what's inside the bag using the water protector. And we've got a really convenient side piece here which allows the tripod to be attached. So this was the bag that I went with. It's also got a hard shell, and it is water resistant, so when it rains you do see that nothing gets inside there. So that's the first thing, obviously. Now in terms of when I'm loading up, what I'm going to show you today is just what I use for sort of like a general shoot. So the first thing to think about is, what camera am I going to take? So I do have 3 cameras, but most of my shooting I only need 1 camera, maybe 2. So the first thing is to establish, will I be taking pictures as well? If I'm not taking pictures, then the camera that goes in is this, which is the Sony ZV-E Mark II. Reason being is that this is light and portable, and when paired with a gimbal, really easy to use. Has got its own microphone built into it here with the windscreen, and I'm actually testing today for the first time using just the microphone that is available on this camera, so hopefully the audio comes out clear. But what I do also always take is at least one of the DJI Wireless Pro mics. So here I've got 2 mics and a transmitter, and this is what essentially is my main audio. Now, if I'm doing a shoot where I'm not going to be doing interviews and things like that, then I will also pack this, which is the Rode Video Pro Plus. And this basically goes on top of the camera, and I basically use this to make sure that I've got the audio sync between the wireless mics and this mic, and I always know that this is going to give me a really good sound on this. Now, if I am taking pictures, or I'm doing a shoot that requires a bit of manual shooting as well, so not just on the gimbal, then what I will take is my main camera, which is this, the Sony A6700. So this has replaced my Sony A7 III, and this is basically set up with a Smallrig handle, which I will show in the description what that is, which one it is. And I use that because I've got entry points, cold shoe points, to be able to attach more equipment, which I'll show you in a minute. I've also got the handle grip, which is here. So the handle grip is also a Smallrig handle grip, medium range in terms of price, and that just simply attaches like so. And the reason why I got this one is because I can hold it like this, like you can see, but also we've got a shoe point there. So typically my Video Pro mic will go on this, on the shoe case there, and then my monitor will go here or here. Usually I use this one to set it up. So this is the main camera, and then I've got the Tamron 17 to 70 millimeter aperture of 2.8. This is kind of like my go-to lens because of the versatility. So it's got a really good crisp, sharp image, but with blurred background. But also I know that I can change the lens zooming as well, like so. And so this is what I use for main shoots. The next thing is I do also carry the kit lens. So this is what came with my Sony A6700, and this is the 16 to 50 millimeter lens. This is the second version instead of kit lens, so I'm not quite sure what the difference is between the two, but I always carry this for the main camera as well, because sometimes I prefer the image to be like how it is right now. So right now we're using the third Sony ZV-10 Mark II with the kit lens. So this also produces that quality. So once I've picked the camera, we've talked about the audio that I use. The next thing I will think about is whether or not I need a B camera. So as I've mentioned, the DJI Action 5 is my behind the scenes camera, but also sometimes I will use this to use vertically because it's quite easy for social media type content. So next thing I always pack is storage. So I use this one for my day-to-day. This is a SanDisk 2 terabyte solid state drive. Very quick. I'll put on the screen what the exact specs are. But this one has been my go-to for the last 2 years. I also work off this across my 2 laptops and my iPad if necessary. So this connects to everything that I have. Really good. I do have another drive, which is not as quick. It's the 5 terabyte. I forget the brand of it. But that's where I store things for non-use, but this has got everything that I'm circulating right now. The next thing I do is pack my SD cards for the cameras. So I have a 256 gigabyte, 200 megabyte Extreme Pro SanDisk, which goes in to the 2 main cameras if I'm using. I'm not recording at the highest 4K quality. I haven't got a memory card that is good enough for that. I've always said that if I had the need to buy something, I'll buy it, but for the time being, this is sufficient. And then the backup ones are the SanDisk Extremes. They write 180 megabyte, 128 gigabytes there as well. And these are V30s, so that's what enables you to have the quality higher. So when you want to shoot 4K 10-bit, but you want that extra crisp version, the high data point ones with more freedom to work with, then you would get a V60 and above. But those are quite expensive for me, who currently not making too much. So the next thing to think about is kind of like the accessories. So most of the time, this is enough for the shoot. But there are times when I want to kind of just test things out when I'm going. So my sort of everyday laptop is the M3 base model MacBook Air. I've got it in blue. Now I got this because although I have an iPad, don't have a new iPad. I've got the iPad Pro 2018. But there was a couple of times when I just wanted to test on Final Cut Pro, which wasn't available on iPads at the time, just to see if the things have imported, just to kind of give a quick sensor check of what I can play with. So this MacBook Air, great for going out with. Use it in hotel rooms when I'm on shoots, so I can do some work behind the scenes using the SD drive, because I've got all the Final Cut Pro files saved on there, and I can use my MacBook Pro when I get home. But this little thing is probably the best purchase I made, the MacBook Air. Unfortunately, it was when they were only given 8 gigabytes RAM as a base model. Now obviously 16 gig. So I have toyed with the idea of upgrading this. But for the time being, I've not had any issues. The only issue has been the storage, which is only 256 gigabytes. But since I've moved everything to the SD drives and I go across, and I've also started putting stuff in the cloud, it gives me a lot more freedom and flexibility. As long as the video files are on this hard drive, I can work quite well. So to couple with that, I've got this USB-C to USB-C, and this is a Rode cable. It came with the Wireless Pros. The reason I carry this is because it allows me to transfer the data between, if I've got the B camera that I'm using and the Wireless Pros, very quickly. Runs at 5 gigabytes per second. But the other thing I like about this cable is it's got 60 watt power capacity. So what that means is if I need to charge something, the cameras, I know that that's going to work using this one cable. And how I charge it is I use this Smallrig V-mount battery. So this is a 99 wattage power capacity. And the reason I got 99 is because that means I can travel on planes with this. I don't have to put it away. So that means I can charge things whilst traveling, which is really cool. Now, this isn't the most expensive version. I'll put down what exact version it is. But you do have the DC input, so you've got a 32 volt out, 8 volt out, a USB A, and a USB C at the top here. And then on the side, you've got the power button. Charge this since I've got it. I've only used it once. Oh, still at I tell you what, I have to see when I bought this, but this was at 34% when I bought it, and it's at 33% now. And I did use it for the very first shoot that we did, so that's quite interesting. And on the side here, we've got the D input. Now, why I use that is to power the camera using this dummy battery. So this dummy battery goes into the camera battery part, and basically using this V-mount battery will last pretty much the whole day. I haven't actually used it yet. This is from Neewer. I got this because it was on offer at the time, so a lot of the stuff that you see I actually got in the January sales at a cheaper price. So I've mentioned the A6700 here has got a cage, a rig if you like. So I've got the Smallrig Cage with the handle grip. So I got this because, well, it was on offer. But I know the brand, I've got a few of their products, very well built. I'm not going to do a full review, but what I did have to get for the V-mount battery is this V-mount connector. Now, these are very expensive pieces of equipment, and so this one is from Neewer. Again, this was on a January sale, and I got this for very cheap, I think like 30 quid or something. And then you just pop it on there, and then you basically just connect the camera like this. So what you have there is basically your battery there, and this battery is used to power the monitor as well. So I have bought a monitor, and I have decided to go with the Neewer 7-inch screen. So I haven't used this so much yet, but I got this because, again, it was on offer. But when I watched the reviews, everyone was saying that the features that it has is actually really good. It's got LUT control, it's got the zebras, so you can see where your exposure's over, etc. You can use storage on this as well, so you can connect. Can you? Yes. SD. No, I believe that's for the update, so that's misinformation. You can't use storage on it. But you know, you can connect in using the HDMI points here, and it does serve as a 4K render as well. So that means that if you do use this to record onto directly, I'm not sure how you do that, so I need to look at that. But it will output in 4K, and it will take a 4K image and present it on the screen, no issue. So my understanding is that not all of them do that. So I think I got this for about 100 and I want to say 70. I didn't get it with batteries, so this does have 2 MPF battery slots here. I opted not to do that because I've got the V-mount battery, so I've got the flexibility later to go and get those if I see a good offer. Now, the next thing, which I purchased this, but I don't know if this was the best buy, but this is a Smallrig cooling fan. So basically, you see here, that's the fan. Now, it runs via USB-C, just here, and it doesn't run on its own. Now, there is a usually version that can be purchased with a battery. And I think that would have been a better option for me because the V-mount only has so many slots that it can do. I've only got 2 minutes of footage left, it says, so I'm going to be very quick. This is the key part of my bag. This is a little toolkit thing that I got from Smallrig. This basically has all the connections you would need for any sort of camera gear. in one place. So I purchased this because I didn't realize that the tools for the cage were in the cage. They're at the bottom. Nobody tells you that, or it wasn't obvious to me. So that's why I got this. So this is absolutely the best purchase. Now, conscious of time, so the last thing I'm going to show you is I have a Apple charger cable. The reason I've got this is because it can charge off the V-mount, and I know that I'm never going to run out of battery. And very last, the light that went out on episode 1. So that's it. That's everything that I carry on a quick shoot. I don't know how long the video is, but it's going to run out. So this was me improvising and creating a YouTube video on the spot. Thanks for watching. Peace.